What if I told you that the healthy habits you're following right now could be sabotaging your health? I spent 40 years making mistakes that nearly destroyed my body, and I'm about to reveal the 7 worst offenders. At 70 years old, I've experienced almost every health crisis imaginable. The ironic part? While I was making these mistakes, I was absolutely convinced I had everything figured out. That stubborn certainty kept me trapped in patterns that were slowly breaking me down. I'm sharing these hard-earned lessons because I don't want you wasting decades like I did. Every symptom, every health challenge, I've been there myself. Let's dive into the 7 massive mistakes that cost me years of suffering, and more importantly, what you should do instead. Mistake 1: dismissing intermittent fasting. Years ago, someone mentioned intermittent fasting to me and I completely brushed it off. Seemed like nonsense. Then I actually tried it and looked at it through an evolutionary lens. Our ancestors didn't graze all day long. The constant snacking raises insulin levels. Every single time you eat, insulin spikes. The frequent eating creates far more damage than most people understand. All that grazing, especially late at night before bed, our bodies simply weren't built for continuous food intake. The moment I stopped snacking, I dropped from 211 pounds to 185, and the swelling around my eyes vanished. That was insulin-driven fluid retention. I had a puffy, round face. Many people with facial swelling or puffiness are just eating too frequently and consuming excessive carbohydrates. Intermittent fasting completely changed everything for me. I recommend it for everyone. Most people should eat just 2 meals daily, and some should consider 1 meal. Too many eating occasions continuously spike insulin. What you think is real hunger is often just low blood sugar. You're running on glucose and can only last perhaps 90 minutes before needing another fix. You stay stuck in this perpetual refueling cycle, constantly running on sugar, never making the metabolic switch to fat burning and ketosis. The entire purpose is being able to go from meal to meal without feeling hungry. Mistake 2: postponing healthy eating. I kept telling myself I'd start eating properly after finishing my education. During those years, I survived on carbohydrates and extremely strong coffee. If I could go back and eat properly, which honestly wouldn't have cost much, I could have had simple eggs or canned fish. My mental clarity would have been dramatically better. I was constantly exhausted throughout my studies, fighting to stay awake when I desperately needed to focus. So much of that fatigue was just blood sugar chaos, and I had no idea. Here's the kicker. Once I graduated, did my eating improve? Absolutely not. I then switched to a plant-based diet, convinced it was healthier with all those legumes and clean protein. That decision backfired spectacularly. My entire digestive system became inflamed, and I spiraled downward even faster, until finally discovering the proper ketogenic approach. That's when real transformation began. If I'd understood this back then, everything would have been different. Don't wait until you're 70 to change course, because the consequences will catch up. You might as well make the shift right now. I promise you, you'll thank yourself down the road. Mistake 3: excessive vegetable smoothies. I was drinking way too many green smoothies. I still have content about this. They're fine in moderation, but I went completely overboard. I was downing these green drinks constantly, convinced we needed enormous amounts of fiber. I got away with it initially without major issues, but I've watched countless people develop severe bloating and digestive inflammation from excessive fiber overload, particularly from excessive green smoothies. Looking back, I should have started small and tested tolerance levels instead of going all in with massive green drinks. With leafy greens, you need sweeteners, pineapple, berries, which add significant carbohydrates. Not exactly the healthiest approach. Now, I'm not anti-plant foods. I'm not against combining different vegetables. Most people can handle moderate amounts. Some need less. I don't consume 10 cups of salad anymore. I don't recommend it. I typically have around 5 cups once daily, sometimes switching to fermented cabbage instead. I eat plenty of that. Occasionally, I'll have a green smoothie, but a smaller portion with minimal berries. I'm extremely cautious about too much fruit. especially sweet varieties like pineapple. Particularly if you're having just a green smoothie for your first meal, I don't recommend it. If you're eating a first meal, make it protein-focused, not a sweet carbohydrate situation, because that triggers hunger and cravings throughout the day. Mistake 4. Misdiagnosing symptoms. I developed persistent right shoulder discomfort and became completely fixated on treating it. I visited every type of practitioner, chiropractors, massage therapists, constantly working on that shoulder. I also had this permanent tightness beneath my right ribs, constant and unrelenting. I had no idea what was causing it. Right shoulder discomfort nearly always signals gallbladder and liver bile duct problems. After I developed an ulcer, I went to several physicians who just looked at me confused, basically saying they didn't know what was happening. My bile had become thick and sluggish, creating tightness in that area that I constantly pressed on, which referred pain to my right shoulder. The critical question: are you truly identifying the root cause, or could your symptoms be originating from somewhere completely different? That's the lesson here.
Mistake 5. The vitamin overload. There was a period when I consumed well over 100 supplements every single day. I'm not exaggerating, entire bottles of various vitamins and supplements. I'd be driving around and tell my wife, "Let's stop at that health store, maybe they can help me." We'd walk out with more bottles. I had a warehouse of supplements. I was battling chronic exhaustion, terrible sleep problems, and joint inflammation, every issue imaginable. I kept searching for that one supplement that would finally give me energy and fix everything. This pattern repeated endlessly because I refused pharmaceutical options. I wanted natural solutions. But here's what I completely missed. Supplements only work when your foundational nutrition is solid. My diet was absolutely terrible. I wasn't getting adequate macronutrients, fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. I was following a plant-based approach at the time, trying to extract protein from non-animal sources. It was a disaster. I never felt satisfied. What I should have done: started every day with animal protein. You need to understand that protein's purpose is bodily repair. Much of your body is composed of protein that requires constant replacement. Some converts to energy, but you primarily get energy from carbohydrates and fats. I recommend avoiding carbohydrates as your energy source and focusing on fats instead. If I could go back, I would have prioritized fatty cuts of meat. Mistake 6. Magnesium deficiency. One crucial prevention strategy for kidney stones is magnesium. Without sufficient magnesium, you develop an imbalance with too much calcium binding to oxalates, which your body naturally produces, not just from spinach, leafy greens, almonds, and chocolate. I developed a kidney stone, and at that time I wasn't consuming many high oxalate foods, but I was severely deficient in magnesium. I never supplemented with it throughout all those years. Magnesium prevents calcium from forming stones, which is genuinely transformative for helping people eliminate stones, especially if they're beginning to form, making them shrink and preventing new ones. It's all about magnesium. But that's just the beginning. I suffered from muscle spasms. Magnesium is essential for muscle relaxation and controls calcium. Without adequate magnesium, calcium takes over and you experience more contractions. I had terrible leg cramps and muscle spasms constantly. I also endured years of severe sleep problems and exhaustion, a really serious magnesium deficiency, not to mention vitamin D deficiency as well. Both created enormous problems. Historically, humans obtained abundant magnesium from well water, then suddenly that changed, especially with municipal water systems. That's one major cause of magnesium deficiency. We no longer get it from water like we used to. Mistake 7. The detox obsession. Cleansing programs were everywhere, and I tried them all. These programs flush out your beneficial bacteria along with everything else, and you risk depleting crucial electrolytes, which can be extremely dangerous. Most cleanses involve barely eating, some fiber, fruit juice, a few supplements. Without the fruit juice, I might have entered ketosis and felt somewhat decent during it. But you never want to combine fasting with juice. I did various versions with lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup. Terrible idea, because your body can never transition to fat burning when you're consuming just enough sugar to keep things going. You're perpetually hungry and feeling miserable the entire time. I experienced severe digestive problems afterwards. But it wasn't just colon cleanses. I tried herbal detoxification programs. I can't count how many times I spent 2 weeks sick in bed after taking powerful herbs that released toxicity, triggering massive immune reactions. I once attempted a gallbladder cleanse involving 12 ounces of extra virgin olive oil. Before that, I took a handful of beet supplements, thinking I'd wash them down with the oil. Incredibly stupid. I had all that in my mouth, drank all that oil, and it solidified in my throat. I genuinely thought I might not survive. Then you're supposed to lie on your right side for hours. I've tried everything. Complete waste of time. What I should have done, simply adopt proper nutrition, maybe add some targeted supplements, but the foundation is animal protein, vegetables, some probiotics, some dairy. That would have solved countless problems. Final thoughts. I spent 40 years learning these lessons the hard way so you don't have to. The real tragedy isn't making mistakes, it's repeating them after someone's shown you the exit. Don't waste decades like I did. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop a comment telling me which mistake hit closest to home, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.